It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Our game tonight featuring the New Orleans Pelicans as they go up against the Detroit Pistons at Little Caesars Arena. And guys, for the Pistons, they haven't forgotten the fact that this team swept them last year in the regular season. This is a game they had circled going in. And tonight, we get to see one of the faces of the NBA, Blake Griffin. He's battled a number of injuries, but Kenny, he's still one of the league's better power forwards.
He gives you a lot of things, Ernie, and I really believe if he didn't get injured early on, he would have been higher in the MVP voting last year. Terrific passer, tries to improve his range every season, now shooting threes.
Kenny, what are you talking about? Everybody gets injured. Let's just talk about how he adds a physical presence. You know, it's too bad him and Chris Paul could never reach the finals together.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that.
Me either.
You don't want to argue.
That does it for us. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.
Knock you out.
Mama said.
It's time for some hoops at Little Caesars Arena, home of the Pistons. And we're going to bring it to you live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. The Detroit Pistons come into this one following a loss, guys, to Philadelphia. You know, guys, you hate to get embarrassed on your home court, but that's exactly what happened. It was a tough loss for them.
And their defense practically non-existent in that one. Just gave up far too many easy shots.
Yeah, I think they were totally checked out, Greg. At least that's what it looked like. When you play that kind of defense, you expect to lose.
Now let's send it down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Thanks very much. Andre Drummond is the most prolific rebounder in the league. He said, every time I see a shot go up, it's like a pass to me. Guys focus on points and getting assists. My goal is to go out and get 20 rebounds a night. Kevin?
He definitely is tough to handle in there, David. Thanks so much. Well, we're getting into the grinded out part of the season, Clark. Should we expect rookies now, you think, to start feeling the length of the NBA season right about now?
You know, that varies from individual to individual. I know when I was a rookie, it happened for me probably after about the 40th game or so, and I just was flat. I was still putting up decent numbers, but I just felt flat, felt lethargic, and then all of a sudden after a week and a half or so, it just kind of went away, and I finished that rookie season strong. So every rookie's different. Some rookies never hit the wall, Kevin, but most do in some form or fashion.
And teams are all on top of this, aren't they? I mean, they know there's a chance it's going to happen, so they prepare accordingly.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's rare when a rookie doesn't hit it, but for some it might be an extended wall. For others, it might be a short wall.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. Payton and Holiday are together in the backcourt. Down low, it's Randall and Davis. And it's Johnson in at the threesome. And so the New Orleans Pelicans get the first points of the ballgame. That shot by Griffin, no good. Payton outside. Johnson kicks to Payton. Doesn't go for him. Good work defensively by Smith. For three, Ellington. And Davis pulls it down. For the New Orleans Pelicans, their last game a loss to Memphis. Here's Payton. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
You know, even when Payton takes tough shots against good defense, you feel comfortable with it because he's so good at making shots through contact.
And Alfred Payton, over his 4 seasons, developing one of the most distinctive hairstyles in the league.
You know, and I remember seeing some footage where his hair seemed to block his vision on a shot attempt. For a player who had struggled shooting the ball, many question whether a trim might be in order. We'll see.
Alfred Payton is known primarily for his playmaking ability. The way he moves the ball is exactly what you want from your point guard.
Smith against Payton. Smith right side. Pass to Griffin. And it's out of bounds. And they say last touch by Griffin. The Pelicans have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Payton kicks to Holiday. Randall outside. Looking for Payton. He gets it there. And they pick up 2. Payton's got 5.
Really like seeing Payton operate inside. I mean, showing once again that he's got the total package.
To the paint, looking to end the run, and Davis sends it back.
Still can't get anything going here after 3 tries.
Here's Randall trying to get open as Johnson, and Griffin sends it back. And the call will be against Julius Randall. That is his first foul of the game. For Detroit, they've gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Smith the pass to Robinson. Pistons passing it around. Griffin, no one around him, drills the three-pointer.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
For New Orleans, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Outside Holiday. To the middle. Here's Randall. It's Drummond with the rebound.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Smith kicks to Robinson. Now Drummond. His last outing, he had 18 points. Out to the right wing. 6 on the shot clock. To the middle. Deflected by Davis.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling.
And Randall throws it down.
Just another way Randall can beat you. Good hands for the catch and finish at the rim.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play, sponsored by Under Armour Hover Havoc. Now here's Ellington. 11 points for him in that last game against Philadelphia. There's the 3. It's rebounded by New Orleans. And this is their first time matched up with the Pistons this year.
And last season, they made short work of this club. 2 games, 2 wins.
They may have wished for more games against them. A definite disparity in talent. We'll see if they take advantage again tonight.
Here's Smith. After Drew Holiday's score. Drummond dishes to Griffin. Over Randall. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Here are the Pelicans with the ball. They're on an 11-3 run right now. Payton finds Johnson. Now Davis. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here.
And when you take a look at that shot chart, the amount of misses lately, really unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of blanks there. Can't hit a thing. Has to be deflating.
Jose Calderon, he's checked in for the Pistons. And New Orleans also making a change. Ejuan Moore, he's checked in for Johnson. And Drummond kicks to Smith. And the shot goes down.
Even with the guy right in his face, Smith maintains that cool demeanor of his. Really like watching him work his magic down in the post.
Now here's Payton. His last outing, he had 8 points. Randall no good.
And even with good coverage defensively that time, he has confidence to drill the 3.
And the Pistons making a change here. Kennard's checked in. And so it's Drummond with it. He'll bring it up for the Detroit Pistons, trailing here by 8.
Who's watching here?
To the left wing. Here's Griffin. No good on the triple. For New Orleans, they've gone 6 of 10 from the field in this ballgame. And for Detroit, a lot of changes, Greg, in their front office this past offseason.
A new GM and Dwayne Casey brought in to coach. could see a drastic shift in style and approach for the Pistons moving forward.
Here's Griffin after Drew Holiday's score. Left side, Griffin. The pass to Drummond. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
He doesn't do some of the damage that other big men do on the perimeter, but inside, Drummond's got just as much game as anybody.
Now here's Payton. 5 points in the game. Outside Holiday. Payton kicks to Davis and stolen by Drummond. And here we go. Fast break. Calderon's got it. Dishes to Smith. And that one, good. Smith's got his second bucket.
Nice to watch Smith get physical on offense. Nothing gets in this guy's way. Plays with a very determined attitude.
Davis against Drummond. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling. Off to a very good start offensively as a result.
Smith, the pass to Drummond. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
Well, I tell you what, they've got to be fuming. I mean, they were way too late in contesting that layup.
Davis looking for an opening. Payton kicks to Moore. Payton dishes to Davis. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And we've all heard the rumors that have been floating around the last few seasons. A lot of speculation if Davis could get traded or Greg leave in free agency.
I mean, Davis moving would be one of the rare situations where it literally could shake up the entire league. You hear a lot of different teams express their interest in him, but credit to Davis. He really has remained committed to New Orleans and has said everything you'd want to hear from a fan's perspective.
And that one falls for Davis.
Davis is really the total package. A mobile, sharp-shooting big guy who can score from everywhere.
A different look here for Detroit. Pachulia, he's checked in for Drummond. Luer comes in for Blake Griffin. And Thonmaker subbed in for Smith. And then for New Orleans, Diallo, he's checked in for Julius Randle. Miller comes in for Drew Holiday. And Ian Clark subbed in for Elfrid Payton. And he makes the first but misses the second. In an effort to protect the players, games are called a little tighter sometimes. And that said, Clark, which guys still bring the physicality that draw the eyes and the attention of the officials?
Well, some of these guys bring attention to themselves by virtue of their reputations, but in terms of physical presence, Steven Adams, to me, is just a behemoth of a guy.
He's grit. He's just all grit, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. I mean, he just oozes that with his size and the way he goes about his work.
He does. 4 on the shot clock. Calderon for 3. It's hauled in by Diallo.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
You're exactly right. Patrolling the perimeter well and didn't allow the shooter to get off a clean look. That's what you would call A+ defense.
And Detroit has possession. New Orleans knocking down that triple moments ago. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Clark, when you were playing to complement your inside game, you had that wonderful mid-range jumper, but more and more, players are going away from it.
I think it's all driven by analytics, Kevin. I mean, everything is about the three-point shot, efficiency of your possessions, go for 3 when you can or get it to the rim. And that makes sense from a mathematical standpoint. From a game standpoint, though, if a quality shot is a mid-range shot for a good shooter, I think you should take them all the time. I mean, that would just be my posture. So I differ with the analytics. I understand what they say. But if I was coaching, guys get a good mid-range jumper from a quality shooter, we're shooting it every time.
Here's Luer. New Orleans knocking down that triple moments ago. Here's Kennard. Covered by Miller. Let's go. Shot's good by Kennard. Kennard's got his first points of the game.
You know, not necessarily what you're looking for, but still able to convert.
Here's Diallo. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Inside, and Okafor slams it in.
And already with the commanding lead, a terrific offensive performance.
Yeah, and the execution, time and time again, right on point. They're running their offense to perfection.
Here's Kennard, following the score by New Orleans. There's the dish to Pachulia. And there's the whistle, 3-second violation. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Taking a look at Golden State. They like where they stand right now, perched in that topmost position. And, of course, there's the Pelicans. They're much further down in the standings right now.
And I think for New Orleans, there were fears they'd be one of the NBA's doormats this season. Those fears have turned out to be well-founded.
And, you know, I don't think they need to wait for the offseason to start making some changes. I think they can start the rebuilding process right now.
Here's Clark. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. And it's a 12-point Pelican lead. Detroit's gone 1 of 5 from downtown in the first quarter. Points out there have been hard to come by. And here's Calderon. And Lure wide open. He shoots it. Okafor grabs the miss.
No other way to say it. Flat out bad defense. Didn't even contest the shot. Lucky for them, he misfired on it.
Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
And, well, Detroit shooting 40% here in the early stages. What do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Pelicans?
Tell you what, guys, they're showing us a lot of energy early on and racking up those fast break points.
And also, they're jumping on a lot of turnovers, making sure they turn them into points at the other end.
And he's good on the second.
And Calderon, perhaps one of the best free throw shooters in the game, perhaps one of the best ever.
Pelicans leading by 11. Clark kicks to Miller. Lets it go with a 3. And another 3 for New Orleans.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Well, everything's coming too easily. I mean, at some point defensively, you have to take something away.
And the Pistons with possession here. New Orleans knocking down that triple moments ago. Just 5 on the clock. Detroit needs to get off a shot here. Lure hits from the high post.
He's starting to figure it out a little bit more. Dimes like this prove Maker knows how to find the open guy.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
Before the NBA, it was his internet highlight reels that gave Thon Maker notoriety. His fluidity for a 7-footer captured the imagination. Yet he's still figuring out how to get it done at the NBA level.
Wayne Ellington's checked in for Maker. Johnson, he's checked in for the Pelicans.
Here's a chance to take a look at the Pistons and how they rank in the NBA right now.
And you go back to their second chance points. Very productive in that regard. I love to watch them work. They have that sixth sense, if you will, for sneaking inside and anticipating the path of the ball.
Now here is Miller. He has 6. Diallo the pass to Clark. Buries it from 3-point range. Clark's got 5 points so far. And last year, Maker's minutes went up, but his shooting took a dip. Clark cause for concern?
No, not really, Kevin. I think he's shown that he's got NBA range and a nice stroke. The area where he needs to continue to get better, areas I should say, is using his size to rebound and defend at a higher level.
Now here's Pachulia. No points in the game yet for him. Here's Kennard, covered by Miller for 3. It's rebounded by New Orleans.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going.
Shooting 2.
He misses the free throw. Robinson's checked in for the Pistons. Good on the second free throw. 1:10 left in the first. Now here's Calderon. He's tightly guarded. Pass to Lure. Calderon finds Lure. On the wing, Ellington. Over Johnson. A shot by Ellington, no good.
The struggles just continue this quarter. They can ill afford to have this many empty possessions.
Miller, the pass to Clark. There's the lob to the hoop. Trying to find Johnson. He's got it now. Sinks it from just inside the baseline. Johnson's got his first basket.
And they've just been so comfortable at both ends of the floor. I mean, you'd almost think they're playing at home.
Yeah, and the confidence really at a high level. Very impressive. They feel like this game is theirs, dominating right now.
For Detroit, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
Yeah, it's been a very frustrating season for them in that regard, guys.
That's good from Calderon. And Calderon drops them both. 26 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Clark. He's guarded by Calderon. We've got 13 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Clark kicks to Okafor. Clock is at 3. Count it. And the Pelicans lead by 18.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Tone setting, that's what I call it. Grabbing this one by the throat early on and then squeezing it hard.
And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. New Orleans on top. They lead by 18. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. One of the most dominant big men in the league, Andre Drummond, says he's learned how to be a leader on this team.
Watching previous guys who've led this team and did the things that they did, I write that kind of stuff in the back of my head and just say, you know, this is something I need to do this. Or if I see something I didn't like, you know, this is something I probably will stay away from. And I think now that I'm in a role where I could kind of lead this team, I kind of have the blueprint on what I need to do to make this team successful.
And, you know, Greg, with Blake Griffin, he's got somebody to take some of that leadership role alongside him.
And those two will be pivotal in deciding just how good this team can be.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And the Pelicans have been rolling right along, haven't they?
Just playing suffocating defense. That's been the difference here for them.
You know, Greg, I love watching this team get after it on defense. I mean, they play with a bit of edge and nastiness.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Pelicans. Diallo out there with Jahlil Okafor. Then there's Ian Clark. Then it's Johnson, and it's Miller in at the small forward position. Detroit making a switch here. Griffin's checked in. The Pelicans also changing it up. Davis is checked in for Okafor. Randall comes in for Diallo. And it's Holiday in for Darius Miller. Here's Randall. His shot is good. Scores his third basket in 6 tries. Shooting 50%.
In transition, Randall extremely mobile for a power forward.
Knocked loose. And here we go. On its way from Clark for 2. He can't get that one. The Pistons go the other way with it. After this one, they're off to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
The Pistons went for it last season, bringing in Blake Griffin and trading away picks and players. Didn't work out the way they wanted, but they are determined to make a go of it. They're in a brand new building, and they hope that their moves in the future will draw fans back to the franchise. Kevin?
Good overview, David. Thank you. Here's Smith. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Smith's got 6.
Execution by Smith, really nice. So smart when he's involved in the pick and roll. He's a perfect passer as well as a deadly shooter. That's a lethal combo.
Griffin against Randall. Passes it to Clark. On the wing, Johnson. Clock at 6. Here's Davis, a second chance effort. And Pachulia pulls it down. Pistons trail by 18. And Stanley Johnson is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. Andre Drummond's checked in for Pachulia. And New Orleans also making a change. Payton's checked in. Drummond in the post. He's guarded by Davis. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. Pistons have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point.
Shooting 1.
Free throw no good for Drummond. Andre Drummond in his mid-20s. He's led the league in rebounding 3 consecutive seasons. And Greg, last season was his best one yet.
Really, I think, established himself as the franchise player for the Pistons. They'll go as far as he can take them. At the same time, though, I think the acquisition of Blake Griffin will only help to mature his game.
And that one, good.
Yeah, how about the strength and focus there of Griffin? Absorbs the hit and still finishes.
Payton kicks to Randall. Feeds to Holiday. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Holiday's got 6.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. The position of power forward, Clark, that was your position. Did you ever think it would become a major weapon for stretching the floor as it is now?
No, I didn't see that evolution happening. I mean, again, at that time in the 80s, even into the 90s, you had the small forward and the power forward was more of an enforcer. I was actually kind of a hybrid at the time because I could deal inside effectively on the glass and because of my size and strength, but also could step out and put it on the floor and pass it a little bit. So, no, the evolution with the 4-man in this day and age, I did not foresee that at all. Love what's happened with it, but it speaks, I think, to the athleticism and skill of these bigger guys now.
It does. They get it back, and it's Drummond missing.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Johnson can't get it to go.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
Robinson dishes to Drummond, and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. That one on Johnson.
Yeah, I don't know if any big man has the combination of strength, speed, and hops that Drummond has, not to mention his length, an unreal physical specimen.
And he makes the first. Morris checked in for Johnson. And both free throws good for Drummond.
You know, it's so rare to see a player who really struggles at the free throw line dramatically improve their free throw percentage. But that's exactly what Andre Drummond did last season, taking it from the 30s, how about up into the 60s. Oh, such a beautiful pass to set that one up.
Yeah, the pass might have been pretty, but the finish was angry.
Well, you need both to make it special, and they pulled it off just right.
Griffin inside. Randall on him. Griffin's shot is off. And 60% of the free throw line, below average for an NBA player. But for Drummond, it changes everything.
I mean, opposing teams much less likely to use that hack-a-shack method. That keeps him on the floor and, more importantly, allows him to be aggressive offensively and just attack the rim. Pretty early to be over the limit. That foul situation is something we want to keep an eye on.
For Detroit, they have gone 5 of 7 from the free throw line in the game. Free throw drops for Smith.
Boy, and at only 6 feet tall, Smith uses that blazing speed of his to keep defenses off balance. Good luck trying to stay in front of him.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Thon Maker's checked in for Griffin. And it's Kennard in for Wayne Ellington. No good on the second free throw.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
Now the feed to Drummond over Davis. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one on Davis.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws. Two.
That free throw missing. And the second free throw, good.
That's a great job getting to the line here. You know, he didn't have a single attempt in that first quarter because I thought he was tentative. Much more aggressive here in the second.
To the paint, and Randall throws it down.
Such an exciting young player, Randall, flexing his muscles there.
Pistons trail by 21. Tipped away. And now the Pelicans on the break. Davis gets a wide open look. Goes back up. From deep. Payton right side to the inside. Randall kicks to Davis. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a three-point play.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle. And with everything that Anthony Davis does on offense, it's just mind-boggling. His scoring inside and out, the percentages, he does it all. He is undoubtedly one of the best big men in the league, and many would argue he is the best in the NBA.
Mind the lane.
And the Pistons making a change here. Calderon's checked in. And with Anthony Davis, the stat lines, Greg, he can post on any given night are just absurd.
Really, Davis still strong defensively, but he really impacts every facet of the game. One of the rare players who can carry a team on both ends of the floor. There just aren't many great players that can lead a team to a championship, but I think Davis is of that mold. Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
And it's on a bounce to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. You look at the Celtics, a terrific position for them as they hold up that illustrious top spot, but it's a long season, as we all know. And checking out Detroit, just way behind.
And checking out Detroit, with the start they've had, they've taken what was such a hopeful preseason and turned the mood sour.
Can't remember the last time I've seen optimism turn to pessimism as quickly as I have with these guys. I mean, their fans are already talking about who needs to be replaced.
Holiday surveying the floor, and Davis throws it down.
Oh, such a beautiful pass to set that one up.
Yeah, the pass might have been pretty, but the finish was angry.
Well, you need both to make it special, and they pulled it off just right.
Calderon finds Drummond. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
2 shots, gentlemen.
Well, Greg, Anthony Davis with so much talent, it's easy to take Drew Holiday for granted.
I mean, I think Holiday is the catalyst in terms of this team's ability to create and really put pressure on an offense. It has improved his scoring and become a very efficient option at that guard spot. Has always been selective with his shots, but now is pressing a bit more to get involved, and more aggression from him, I think, has helped his production.
And the first one at the line is good. Langston Galloway's checked in for Detroit. New Orleans also making some changes. Okafor comes in for Anthony Davis, and it's Darius Miller in for Drew Holiday. And so he's able to get 1 of 2.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
Hits the three-point bomb. And that's now 11 points for Elfrid Payton.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, it's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Here's Drummond. Back to Galloway. Shot clock at 5. It's stolen by Randall. New Orleans moving it around. Miller, no luck. And it's Galloway with the ball. He'll bring it up for Detroit. Puts up a 3, and he's good on the 3-ball. Payton with the ball. He's got 11. Miller outside. Back to Payton. And he uses the glass on the layup. Payton's got 8 here in the quarter.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Well, once they recognized the advantage they had inside, it made a lot of sense just to continue to attack that area.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jahlil Okafor. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. For Detroit, they have gone 8 of 13 from the free throw line. First one falls for him. And both free throws good for Drummond. Pelicans leading by 23. Now here's Jackson. Here's Randall. And Randall throws it down.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screen play. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
Down low, here's Hill. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Hill's got his first points in this one. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Now Thomas kicks to Lure. Back to Thomas. Just 5 to shoot. Shoots. That one wide left. New Orleans has gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
The Pistons have gone 6 of 14 shooting here in the second. Galloway taking his time here. Now here's Thomas. He's guarded closely. Again, the miss by the Pistons. New Orleans gotten cold from deep in the second quarter. Just 2 of 6 from long range. Jackson misses. And, well, Detroit shooting 40% since the beginning of the second quarter. Outside Hill. Outside Jackson. It's back to Hill. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got rebound number 8 now on the night. Pass to Lure. He kicks it to Galloway. Outside Thomas. Off the mark, and the drought continues. And that one's good. Drummond.
Yeah, he's building off that strong first quarter, Kevin. Rising up and hitting shots with confidence.
Outside Jackson. He dishes it to Hill. 14 feet away. And he can't bank that one in. The Pistons shooting a lackluster 38% for the game, struggling so far. Here's Galloway. Lure the pass to Galloway. Got a piece of it.
Does not have a shot blocker's reach, but Randall makes up for it with excellent anticipation.
Well, for New Orleans, shooting indicative of smooth offensive play. Up at 60%. They're a machine from the floor. For Detroit, they have had 15 tries at the line. They've made 10.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
And he makes the first. Both teams will make substitutions. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. There's 42 seconds left in the first half. Here's Clark, defended by Drummond. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. 6 points for Jahlil Okafor.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
On the wing, Ellington hits it from three-point range. Ellington's got himself on the board with 3 there. There's 21 seconds left to play in the first half. Here's Clark. 5 points in the game. And here is Okafor.
Well, I like seeing Okafor getting physical and drawing fouls in his attempt to get to the basket. I mean, for a guy this size, he poses a lot of problems for opposing defenses.
The Pelicans shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
No good on that one.
And already Okafor has become a dominant big man in the association. Has a good number of post moves to choose from, in addition to a nice jump hook.
And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there. The shot will not fall. And so it's New Orleans holding a 22-point lead as the quarter wraps up. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Elfrid, what's working for you guys in the first half? How did you get yourselves going?
We were able to get out and run. We're getting out the run fast and getting out the court.
We'll see if you can keep running in the second half, Elfrid. Thank you. Back to you.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks. Welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal at 2K Sports. Let's talk first half. After the first 2 quarters of play, it's New Orleans in control. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, what's your take?
Well, they were dishing out dimes left and right, and the guys were finishing strong. As a team, they seem to be always thinking, always looking for the best shot. If they keep sharing the ball this way, the second half could be more lopsided than the first.
Shaq, what'd you think about the Pistons?
Well, you live by the 3 and you die by the 3. And today, Ernie, they're dying. And as cold as they've been behind the arc, they keep firing from deep. What are you doing? I know they got a lot of ground to make up, but they can't continue with this game plan. Not working.
And it's just about time now for the third quarter to get underway.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. Andre Drummond has been sensational.
Yeah, and the fact he's posted a double-double with about half the game left to play, that's impressive.
And you know what, Greg? He's showing no signs of slowing down now. This game has been all him, and he's been a force.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. The big men are Griffin and Drummond. Smith is out there with Wayne Ellington, and it's Robinson in at small forward. They're the group for Dwayne Casey starting the second half.
That's how you pass the pumpkin. I mean, Smith really keeps his head on the swivel to get that ball over to his open teammates.
Payton kicks to Johnson. Poked loose and stolen by Drummond. Griffin against Randall. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Now the pass to Robinson. It's good.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Holiday with it. Now Smith defending and stolen by Drummond. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway.
And a chance here to see the numbers for Davis. Unbelievable play for him over the last month. He's putting up 29 points a game, 15 rebounds, and almost 2.5 blocks. And he brings that offensive firepower to the team. Scoring just comes naturally.
And, you know, defenses are throwing everything at him, yet he's still able to put up points. He's really unstoppable.
No good on that one. Good on the second free throw. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. Smith against Payton. Right side Davis. The kick out to Holiday. He tries for three. And it's Griffin with the rebound. Pistons trail by 17.
And Blake Griffin said early in his career he used to rely on his athleticism to get by. He said the problem was every season he'd be worn out by February. So diversifying his offensive game has helped him to kind of withstand the rigors of a long NBA season.
And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up. That's going to send Drew Holiday to the free throw line. It's going to be on Blake Griffin. And Greg, you look at a lot of the volume dunkers over the years, their bodies often wear down. You think of Amari Stoudemire, Antonio McDyess, even Dwight Howard.
Yeah, and I think Griffin could see the writing on the wall. He used to get over 200 dunks in a season, now less than half that number. But the trade-off, hopefully, will be longevity and an increased skill set.
That free throw good from Drew Holiday.
He's only listed at 6'4", but Holiday plays bigger than that. That's the case on D more than anywhere else. He can guard three positions, and there's a lot of value in that.
And I like the timing, Kevin, that Drummond has on these alley-oops. That's not as easy as he makes it look. He knows precisely when to leave the ground to receive the pass and finish it off.
And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. And it's Davis missing.
A highlight reel play all the way, just can't connect.
I thought the pass looked good and just came up a skosh short, but I like the initiative and the intention.
And it's Johnson, that time on the assist from Randall. And the Pelicans lead by 18.
Unselfish, good vision, nice dime by Julius.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, they're getting crushed, killed, hammered, pulverized in the post.
And the Pistons making a change here. Makers checked in.
And, you know, a chance here to see where the Pelicans sit in the NBA statistically.
And as for their #2 ranking and second chance points, that relentless pursuit on the offensive glass has led to a lot of easy opportunities. And believe me, they don't miss many.
Back to Griffin. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Davis has got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. And Holiday kicks to Johnson. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Johnson's got 5 points in the quarter.
Where was the defense? Come on now. Where was it? No idea how they gave up that open a look.
Pass to Maker. The teardrop falls in.
This is where Maker has to become more comfortable. We all know he can shoot, just needs a better interior game.
To the middle. And Randall throws it down.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, it is the era of positionless basketball, but how exactly did we get here? Well, new defensive rules at the turn of the century encouraged face-up scoring, motion-based offense, and guard play over isolation and post-ups. As a result, offensive roles have become more interchangeable.
It has become a positionless game now. David, thank you very much. Davis with it. Robinson picks him up. Shot clock at 6. Here's Payton. Misses off the right eye. And so it's Smith with it. He'll bring it up for the Detroit Pistons, trailing by 19. Here's Robinson, and Davis sends it back.
Boy, I tell you what, Davis uses his length so well. I mean, a defensive stalwart who holds his ground, and because of his timing and length and athleticism, he's an excellent shot blocker.
That's a very close call. I'm sure he thinks it's a clean block, but looks like it was on the way down.
Luke Kennard, he's checked in for the Pistons. Calderon comes in for Wayne Ellington. New Orleans also making some changes. Miller comes in for Randall, and Moore subbed in for Johnson.
One shot. One shot.
For Detroit, they've gone 6 of 9 from the floor here in the second half. They've got to be happy with that. Passes it to Griffin. Great D that time from Davis.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
It's stolen by Smith. Out left to the wing. Kennard, the pass to Griffin. Maker kicks to Smith. 6 to shoot. Fires from 14. Kennard's shot is off.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Moore outside. Miller with the ball. Now guarded by Maker. Miller dishes to Payton. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. A moment to check out who the New Orleans Pelicans have coming up. On Monday, they'll be matching up against Gordon Hayward and the Boston Celtics. Then on Wednesday, they'll go up against Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And if I'm this team, I'm looking at this as a barometer to see how we stack up against some of the top teams in the league. They'll have to be at their best, but if they come out of this with some success, I think it'll build momentum for the rest of the run.
The first one falls. Pachulia, he's checked in for the Pistons. John Lure comes in for Maker. And the Pelicans also making a change. Okafor is checked in for Drew Holiday. He doesn't get the second one. Knocked away. And, well, Detroit shooting an outstanding 55% from the field since the half. You know, their execution has been on point.
And if you let Calderon get set and have a good look at the basket, he's going to knock that 3 down consistently.
Payton against Pachulia. Here's Davis. That's his 6th field goal today, and that makes him now 6 for 11.
They're up right now because he's been dominant on offense, and, man, I like seeing him catch fire like this.
Smith kicks to Pachulia. Smith with the basket on the assist by Pachulia. 10 points for Smith.
Man, that was a really nice interior shot by Smith. For a smaller guy, he's extremely confident when he gets down in the paint.
Outside, Davis. Miller finds Davis. Shoots from 14, and it's New Orleans scoring again.
As dangerous as he is inside, Davis gives opponents nightmares when he's able to get to the mid-range. He's very reliable when he steps back and takes the jump shot.
Pass to Calderon. Lure with it. Smith on the wing, covered by Payton. Here's Pachulia, and he uses the glass on the layup. Pachulia's got his 2nd bucket of the game to go.
Like that execution, Kevin. A successful possession leading to a high percentage basket.
Payton surveying the floor. To the inside. Moore passes to Payton. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him. Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Pelicans.
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going, and you just want to keep it going.
Yeah, but Clark, the other thing that sticks out for me, the number of assists they made over the course of this game.
Wayne Ellington's checked in for the Pistons. Sheck Diallo, he's checked in for New Orleans. Ian Clark comes in for Elfrid Payton.
And they didn't shoot it very well from the line in the first half, but they've gotten much better since halftime, and it's helped them to secure the lead.
Calderon dishes to Lure. Calderon kicks to Lure. On the wing, Ellington. And Detroit again with the bucket.
Being aware there, excellent recognition, fantastic playmaking leading to the nice shot.
New Orleans leading by 21. To the paint, here's Davis. Okafor with no one around. And Pachulia pulls it down. Pachulia's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Kennard's shot is off. For New Orleans, they've gone 8 of 12 from the field since the beginning of the third. Wasted no time on that one. Clark's got 8 points.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
And Etwan Moore has always been a solid shooter in the NBA, Greg, and he's continued to grow in that department.
I mean, just look at the career numbers from deep in terms of efficiency. In the last few years, he started to take on more and more volume in terms of the three-point shot. Hasn't changed his percentages, though, at all. And I would give him the green light as much as he wants from beyond.
Oh, and how about squeezing the orange as tight as he could there before the stuff?
Yeah, no way he's going to lose that thing on the way up.
Better safe than sorry, right?
Calderon taking his time here. Here's Kennard. And the rebound goes to the Pelicans. Moore's got rebound number 5 here tonight. To the middle. Okafor finds Moore. Back to Okafor. Stolen by Lure. Calderon with it. 6 points for him. The pass to Ellington. Here's Kennard. He's guarded by Davis. Pistons passing it around. Calderon, that's for 2. Connects, the jumper drops. Calderon's got 5 points in the quarter.
The timing, the spacing, all of it was just beautifully executed there by Calderon.
He just threw that possession away. Hopefully he learns from that and doesn't make the same mistake again.
Glenn Robinson, the third, is checked in for Kennard. Stanley Johnson, he's checked in for New Orleans.
Hey, Jose.
Ellington, the pass to Pachulia. Calderon kicks to Lure. Robinson against Johnson. Robinson drives in. Can't hit from 12.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Now here's Calderon. Defense right on him. Pass to Ellington. Now here's Calderon. 8 points for him. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Robinson for 3. Hits it from 3-point range. Robinson's got 5 now.
And that's how you answer back.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, go right back at him. Show him you can shoot from outside all night long.
Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Calderon with it. And it's Johnson picking him up. Bucket is good. 10 points for him.
And it's situations like that where you'll see how quick Calderon can be in the open floor.
Clark kicks to Okafor. Back to Clark. Moore outside. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wynn.
I could not say it any better, showing you some real focus, taking it inside against the bigger man.
To the middle, here's Lure. Lays it up and banks it in.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Now Moore. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game, and it's Clark in the corner. From outside, off the mark. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Shot from the wing. but they get it back. Ellington kicks to Robinson. And another three for Detroit.
In perfect timing. This run is exactly what they needed, and it's right when they needed it. They couldn't afford to wait any longer.
Yeah, it's still a big hill to climb. I mean, it was essential that they at least made some kind of dent in that lead before we got to the fourth quarter.
Moore outside. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
This is his first free throw of the game.
And, you know, something I remember from their last game was how good he was at the line.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he attacked, got to the line a bunch, and cashed in on his chances. And, guys, that's an increase in his free throw percentage from last year. Maybe not a large one, but it is a little bit higher, so you've got to like that progress.
And so Moore nails both of them. Just 4 seconds left in the third. 1 second left. Doesn't go that time. And so it's New Orleans with a 21-point lead to end the quarter. They have been excellent at both ends of the floor. The scoreboard showing what a complete performance this has been. Back to the action after this word. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
And they'd love to see every possession end this way. True team basketball.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. On the court for the Pelicans, getting the fourth quarter going, we've got Holiday, Diallo out there with Darius Miller. Then it's Julius Randle, and it's Johnson in at the 2. Holiday. Here's Randle. Second chance shot, and it's good on the way in. Randle's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for New Orleans. Smith kicks to Maker. Back to Smith. Randle against Drummond. Griffin inside. We've been the 90s, Clark, and we saw the pick and roll really become a common type play. Defenses have now adjusted somewhat, but many offenses still rely on it now.
Man, you go way back to the 50s and 60s. The pick and roll has been one of the hardest plays to defend since really basketball came into existence, quite honestly. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense. And now with the interchangeable parts that many teams have, you have the real challenge of small guys setting screens on big guys and creating havoc. So screen and roll action, always a very important part of the game and a hard set to cover well on defense.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And Blake Griffin is just an incredible athlete, explosive and great balance and mobility, powerful. A big guy who can flat out throw it down, and he also can pass it too.
And the foul called on Blake Griffin. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
Fouling like that isn't how you get back in the game.
Looked to me like just a frustration foul. It really kind of sums up the game they're having in general.
Now here's Johnson. He's guarded closely. 6 on the shot clock. Randle no good. Pistons trail by 21. Smith kicks to Robinson. No good from outside. And so it's Randle bringing it up now for the New Orleans Pelicans. Passes it to Holiday. One of those ongoing discussions about adding a fourth referee, Clark. Would that help us, you think, call the game more accurately?
No, it would just crowd the court more.
Right.
I mean, come on, what are we talking about here? There's a human element to everything we do. Calls are going to be missed. We've grown and gotten better in highlighting different aspects of calls, being more transparent about it. The video replay, I think, has been more good than bad in the game. There are going to be mistakes. You make them, I make them, the referees make them, coaches make them, players make them. We can't totally eliminate the human element of the game. A fourth official would not add to the ability to get more calls right. They're getting 94, 95% of them right now. You think another official is going to move the needle? Come on.
New Orleans making a switch here. Payton's checked in.
Get you.
Holiday against Drummond. Miller finds Randall. New Orleans moving the ball around. Offensive rebound. The second effort. Can't get the layup. The Pistons shooting pretty well at 46% from the floor. With the teardrop, whistle blows, basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
You know, I think it's critical that Maker converts through contact, showing how strong he can be on these and ones.
Davis is checked in for New Orleans.
One shot, gentlemen.
That free throw good from Maker.
The skill set package that Maker has is intriguing. A long, lanky, big guy who can shoot it and rebound. I think he just needs to focus on being more consistent.
Holiday, the pass to Randall. Back to Holiday. And here's Johnson outside. That's in. That's his fifth field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Smith, the pass to Drummond. That's tipped. It's stolen by Davis. It's taken away by Smith. Here's Robinson. And that's collected by Drew Holiday.
Great look, but he couldn't finish. Everything but is how we say that. Surprising, since the defense was very pedestrian. He's flipped the script here in this half, shooting a much higher percentage from the field.
Smith kicks to Maker. Clark, an interesting aspect of the one-and-done controversy. Increasingly, these guys are being asked to take on a big role in the NBA right away.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I'm all for guys that have the unique ability and opportunity to play pro basketball out of high school or after 1 or 2 years of college. I would love to see college kids hang around for 2 or 3 years, but that's not realistic for the supremely gifted. But it does put pressure on your teams if you're expecting these young guys to come in and impact winning right away. It takes a little time, most cases, for even really highly talented players to become winning NBA players.
Wayne Ellington's checked in for Thonmaker. Robinson finds Griffin. Smith outside. In the corner, it's Ellington. Drummond trying to get himself free. And Ellington is good for 3.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
Payton passes to Randall. Shoots over Griffin. Davis. And it's Davis with the jam.
How about the leaping ability of Davis? Easily gets off the ground to throw it down. And he's a quick jumper and decision maker.
Pistons trail by 21. Smith kicks to Drummond. They get a hand on it. It's stolen by Davis. No one near Randall as he lets it go. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Payton's got his 5th assist in this one. The Pistons have gone 3 of 5 here in the 4th quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Pass to Drummond. In the recent CBA, there have been a lot of provisions put in there for retired players. Health insurance, increase in pensions, Clark, reimbursement for tuition. What do you think of these changes?
Love them, Kevin. Absolutely love them. And again, credit to the league and to the Players Association for thinking outside the box, reaching back to benefit some of the former players that are actually in need of these benefits and deserving of them. Come on now. Those guys paved the way in many ways for what we see of the league now. And most players appreciate and recognize that, and for it to be tangibly recognized and rewarded is great to see. I love it.
Pelicans leading by 22. Payton kicks to Davis. Johnson left side. There's the three. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
A tough first half, but it's been a different story here since the break.
And there's the pass to Drummond. Outside Griffin. Inside. And Drummond throws it down.
What a find by Griffin. He's a lot more skilled as a passer than he gets credit for as far as power forwards go. He has terrific vision.
Randall finds Payton. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Payton's got 19 points.
And every move he makes looks like the right one at this point.
No doubt about it, Greg. I mean, the game comes so naturally to him, easily. I mean, helping to expand their lead as they try to close this one out. He's doing it.
It was all about his athleticism when Griffin first came into the league, but it didn't take long to see he was about a lot more than that. He's got serious skills down low.
And they double up Payton. It's tipped. Davis against Drummond. 6 to shoot. Holiday with the 3. Rebounded by the Pistons. Robinson for 3. The rebound by Johnson.
You know, he's been off so far, Kevin, but there's still time. I mean, he just needs to settle it down, idle it down a little bit, and try to contribute as much as he can on the offense within himself. He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Yep, they'll be trying to draw that next foul quickly so they can start getting those easy chances at the stripe.
Here's Galloway, guarded by Jackson. Davis against Drummond. Griffin inside, and the shot goes in. Griffin's got 6 here in this quarter.
And scoring the ball comes easily and naturally to him. He's a versatile player at the offensive end.
Left side Jackson, the 3 from Hill. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got 3 assists now in this one. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Galloway kicks to Griffin. We seem to see a lot of players request trades in the media, but Clark, you have to believe some teams were blindsided by this.
Oh, there's no question about it, Kevin, that teams have been blindsided on occasion. I don't like to see players operate that way, but I also understand sometimes the frustration that leads them to do so. But at the end of the day, I think it's part and parcel of the environment we're in and the nature of the business of the NBA. Sometimes players just aren't confident in what they hear directly, so they take other measures to voice their choice or displeasure.
First free throw is good.
You know, Julius Randle is a young power forward, a little undersized for that position, but fairly dependable. Good movement when he gets to the basket, and he knows how to finish inside. Surprised his rookie option wasn't picked up, but he made the best of it in free agency.
Both free throws good from Randall. And for Randall, a free agent this past summer, it seems he never felt truly wanted by the team that drafted him.
Well, you know, he's dealt with injuries early in his career and a lot of trade rumors, which can affect a young player in a negative way. I think he's still shown solid improvement in his first handful of years in the league. And again, you've got to recall and remember how young some of these guys are. Even when they've been in the league 4, 5, 6 years, some of these guys are like 22, 23 years old. and that's still not enough time for them to fully mature as players.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Thon Maker comes in for Blake Griffin. And it's Luke Kennard in for Robinson. And then for New Orleans, Okafor is checked in for Davis. Diallo comes in for Julius Randle. And Ian Clark subbed in for Moore. Okafor kicks to Johnson. And again, New Orleans has no luck.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain-neutral position.
It's not going to go for him. Average value of an NBA team, Clark, over $1 billion. And I can't even believe I'm saying that, but the league wasn't always so healthy and always thriving the way it is now.
Yeah, every business goes through periods of prosperity and challenge. The league, NBA, no different. Early 80s, there were real struggles and challenges. Then there was a real bump as we got into the late 80s and into the 90s. Plateaued a bit, and now we're on a great ascension. But the players and the league have really worked well together to bring the league to a greater level of popularity and success in this time period now. And you can't discount the big money from TV contracts. That fuels the fire quite a bit as well.
And Pachulia drops them both.
And this is one of the things they need to keep doing in the second half to get this win. Keep knocking down those free throws. They've been sensational here at the line.
Johnson missing again. The Pistons have gotten more than 58% of their attempts to go down for them in the fourth quarter. They're 7 of 12.
If you're a pro, you got to drain that shot. I mean, doesn't matter who you are. The defense left him wide open. Pros make those.
Clark dishes to Payton over Smith. And he can't bank that one in. Maker passes to Pachulia. Smith, no luck. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. For the Pistons, Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Thon Maker. And Glenn Robinson, the third, is subbed in for Kennard. New Orleans also making some changes. Davis is checked in for Okafor. Randle comes in for Shaq Diallo. And it's Drew Holiday in for Ian Clark. Detroit's gotten just 1 of 4 three-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Pass to Smith. Kicks it to Pachulia. Outside Griffin. And Stanley Johnson is going to pick up the foul. That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. That's good from Blake Griffin. We know Clark fans want to see star players. That's been a hot topic around the league. The league has added rules, in fact, that now prohibit resting guys on certain nights.
Yeah, I think that's important, that players have a real understanding of their responsibility. I understand trying to balance the rest versus the wear and tear over course of. That's another reason I propose a shorter season. I don't think you'd end up with this kind of controversy or debate. But I thought the league was right in requiring, I mean, your responsibility is to play all the games you're available to play in, unless you're injured. And I think it's important that guys take that responsibility seriously. And it's a responsibility they have to themselves, to the team, the organization, and the fans.
No good on the free throw.
And just a better job of getting to the line here in the second half. Didn't get there once in the first.
And he can't make the second free throw either, missing both.
He's been terrible. Absolutely awful. I mean, can't get it going. His shot isn't there right now. You got to help him some other ways.
Smith's shot is good.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Here's Holiday. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Payton's got 6 assists now in the game. And it's Smith with the ball. He brings it up for the Detroit Pistons. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. With social media providing instantaneous news, Clark, players have to really watch what they say now. I mean, before they hit the send button.
Yeah, you got to pause before you peck, and you got to pause before you post. That's one of the things I would tell.
Well said. Well said.
That's what I would tell guys when I was talking about this landscape that they're in. Heavily scrutinized, and to the NBA players' credit, they've done a great job with social media. They're very visible. They're very accessible. They're well connected to the community through their platforms. But you do have to exercise some caution in how you go about your social media profile.
Here's Griffin. Five on the clock. Down low, here's Pachulia. Drills the elbow jumper. Pachulia's got 4 this quarter.
And when he squares up, his height makes him a tough assignment.
Yeah, and he knows how to utilize that size. He takes advantage of it. And that's why he's able to take his time on these shots, because he knows he has that extra height advantage.
Smith feeling it out a bit. He kicks it to Ellington. Pistons keep it alive. And another shot. Griffin. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one. Clark, it always seems the coaches get fired a lot, and there's kind of the rotating names there, but the GMs who hire them stay in place. What's your take on that?
Yeah, you know, it's fairly complex, Kevin. I don't know if we have enough time to delve in it effectively here, but my initial feeling is every circumstance is a little different, and sometimes it's a little easier to move the coach than the general manager for whatever reason. But there should be more accountability for GMs, not just for who they draft, but also who they hire as coaches. So I'm mixed, but I kind of understand why sometimes the coach is a little more readily expendable.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority, very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Pelicans.
Tonight, they seem committed to the three-point shot.
That was the bread and butter. Fortunately, they made enough of those, but sometimes it was quantity over quality.
And an important milestone for them tonight as they pick up win number 10.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And that next meeting, Greg, will be their second and final game of the season series, being in opposite conferences. So you bet nobody wants to get swept even in a 2-game season series. I think the next game will be hotly contested.
And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Julius Randle.
He just looked like an orchestrator out there. His teammates kept running to the open spot, and he found them time and time again.
Here's Clark. The shot is good off the backboard.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Exactly. Cold-blooded. Separation solidified. Great effort.
Three-pointer Ellington. The shot's good on the assist by Calderon.
And that's just some great vision there from Calderon to see the wide-open man for the easy make.
To the inside. And the New Orleans Pelicans with another turnover here.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thank you. Anthony, an impressive win, and it seemed like a collective effort out there tonight.
Guys come in and and stepped up and played tremendously. You know, so I just go out there and play, you know, with all my energy and everything I had in me and leave it out on the floor. And I'm glad we got the win.
Hey, Anthony, thanks for your time. Kevin, back to you, man.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.